हायर एज्युकेशन सोसायटी शिराळा संचलित समाज विकास माध्यमिक व उच्च माध्यमिक विद्यालय सागाव घेऊन येत आहे विषय सामान्य विज्ञान इयत्ता 6वी सेमी. विषय शिक्षक श्री R.A. चव्हाण. Without taking too much time, we are going to learn our second chapter, The Living World's fifth part, Reproduction. Dear students, you can see our science textbook page number 13 on your screen. As well as in that picture, some small pictures are included and that have some logical question for you. Can you tell what do we learn from these pictures? Picture number 1, a bird and its eggs. Picture number 2, bryophyllum. Picture number 3, a mare and her foal. And last one picture is rose cutting. Before knowing some information about that picture, I want to show you a small video for you. Just watch it.
Reproduction in living organisms. Have you ever wondered how young ones of living organisms are produced? When living things reproduce, they make new living things. Reproduction is the process by which living organisms, like humans, birds, and animals, form new individuals of the same kind. For example, look at this nest, and the eggs laid by the pigeon in it. Some of these may hatch, and young ones come out. Different living things have different modes of reproduction. Some produce their young ones through eggs, for example, hens. Some give birth to the young ones, for example, human beings, cows, dogs, cats. Do you know that plants also reproduce? Like animals, the mode of reproduction differs from plant to plant. Reproduction in many plants is through seeds. Plants produce seeds which germinate and grow into new plants. Note that some plants also reproduce through parts other than seeds. For example, a part of a potato with a bud grows into a new plant. Lastly, there are also plants that can reproduce through cuttings. Let us perform an activity to learn this method of reproduction. Cut a branch from a rose or a mehendi plant. Fix it in the soil. Water it regularly. Observe it after a few days. What do you find? We find that the cutting has got small new shoots. This activity proves that plants can reproduce through cuttings also. However, at times, it may not be possible to grow plants from cuttings if proper care is not taken. Living things produce more of their own kind through reproduction. But different organisms have different ways of reproduction.
So dear students, in this short video you learn about reproduction and you get some information about living things produce other living things like themselves. So our point is reproduction. So let's learn. Living things produce other living things like themselves. Some animals give birth to their young ones. Some lay eggs. Their young ones hatch out of the eggs. New plants are produced from the seeds, stems, or leaves of plants. The process by which a living thing generates a new living thing like itself is called reproduction or procreation. You got it? Don't forget that reproduction is a characteristic of living things. Dear students, come, let's know about bryophyllum plant. How the bryophyllum plant reproduced another plant. And you know what? Bryophyllum also called a mothers of 1,000 plants. It means they give birth 1,000 times to another plants. Let's watch it. So, do you like that video? If yes, then comment me. What we learned from this fourth part? We learned about the process by which a living thing generates a new living thing like itself is called reproduction or procreation. Now I have another one small video for you. Just watch it.
Reproduction in plants. All living things reproduce their own kind. This is called reproduction. Through reproduction, plants and animals continue to exist on the earth. Plants reproduce through flowers. A fruit is formed out of a flower. The flower contains seeds. New plants grow from seeds. Different plants reproduce in different ways. Ferns, mushrooms, and molds reproduce from tiny seed-like structures called spores. Some plants reproduce from the parts of the parent plant. The multiplication or propagation of plants, in which new plants grow from any part of the parent plant, is called vegetative propagation. Reproduction from stem. Onion, ginger, and potato are underground stems. Take a potato and observe it. You will find small buds on it. New plants grow from them. Ginger also grows from buds. Onion is a bulb-shaped underground stem. New plants grow from these bulbs. We can reproduce some plants by taking a cutting from them and planting it in the soil. After a few days, this cutting will grow into a new plant. Rose, bougainvillea, and sugarcane can be grown from stem cuttings. Multiplying plants by using roots. Roots of some plants, such as sweet potato, produce new plants. Take a sweet potato. Place it in a glass full of water using toothpicks. Take care that the lowest part of the sweet potato is in water. Now put the glass on a windowsill so that it gets sunlight and fresh air. After a few days, you will see a plant growing out from it. Reproduction from leaves. Look at the leaf. This is the bryophyllum leaf. It has buds along its edges. New plants grow from these buds. Reproduction in plants having weak stems. In strawberry, long stems grow over the soil surface and are called runners. Buds which are present on the stem grow into new plants. Layering. To get a jasmine plant, the lower branch of the stem is bent so that a part of the stem is buried under the soil. The growing tip remains above the soil surface. After some time, roots grow from the stem part buried in the soil. Now, this new plant can be cut from the plant and planted as a new independent plant. Reproduction from seeds. Seeds are usually found in fruits. New plants grow from the seeds. When seeds get enough water, air, and sunlight, they grow into new plants. The growth of a baby plant from a seed is called germination.
So finally, we have learned all living things do not reproduce in the same manner. It means some give birth to their young ones, some lay eggs, etc. And new plants are produced from the seed, stem or leaves of plants. So finally students, hopefully you learned our fifth part of second chapter, the living world. Tomorrow we will learn about the rest in this lesson. Have a good day.